it's Bumblebeary, and welcome back to Seduce Me to the Demon World. Sorry if I sound weird. I just recovered my voice and then I'm not at home, so I don't have my normal mic. Hopefully this sounds okay. I saw your guys' vote. You said that to stay in the Demon World is the first one we should do. So it'll make Sam happy, we'll be honoring Diana's wishes, so let's stay in the Demon World. This was Sam's home. This was the place Diana and the entire rebellion had fought to protect and save. My time here had made this world precious to me, and I wanted to take care of it as Diana would have. My heart gave a gentle thump, letting me know that I had made the right decision. Sam smiled brightly and nodded. His brothers and their wives nodded, accepting my answer, but the rebel leaders lowered their heads in respect for me and Sam. I quickly turned to them and smiled, knowing that they needed to be there and help us rebuild the world we were left with. We hope all of you will help us rebuild this world. Diana would have wanted that. A lump in my throat almost blocked me from finishing that sentence. It was deeply painful to refer to Diana as dead, as she gave her life for me. But the world needed a leader, and it now had a strong group of people ready to lead it. The 4 rebel leaders looked to each other and nodded.
We will do our best. Thank you for trusting us.
Of course, you crazy murderous people.
What are we gonna do first? We could do all kinds of really amazing things, like rebuild the forests. No, wait, have a party. Wait, no.
Faye, quiet.
Oh, lighten up. The war is over. We have a reason to celebrate.
Yeah, I'm the queen. I smiled, happy to know that the world was in good hands. However, Faye took a breath and turned to look at me with a small smile before forming a small lavender-colored lily in her hands.
Before we turn you into a demon, though, since Diana is, well, she wanted to give you this.
Is it the flower? I stared at the flower in surprise. What was it? I reached out and took it into my hands, practically feeling magic and energy run through it. It's lovely.
A flower of Lilith? But how can that be?
They were said to have died out generations ago.
I continued to stare at the flower, entranced by its spell. It was such a gorgeous-looking flower. I could barely tear my eyes away.
Put it behind your ear. I think she said it was magical or something.
Yeah, just put it on your face. I tilted my head before nodding and lifting it to tuck it behind my ear. As it settled against my ear, I felt the mist encircle my head and form a flower crown of lavender lilies that I could see in the reflection of the remains of the stained glass window. The way everyone looked at me made me feel like I was in my bridal wear already.
Whoa.
Aw, Sam, you think I'm beauteous?
Amazing!
He's blushing. I looked to Sam, seeing his grin from ear to ear at the sight of me. I blushed, feeling somewhat timid with the flower crown on my head, but happy to know that it had rendered my husband speechless. However, as I lifted my hand to the flowers, feeling their soft petals, I could feel the world fade to a white color. Huh? From the direction where Diana had fallen, a figure stepped towards me, bathed in light? I covered my eyes with my arm for a moment before seeing who it was. Diana? It's Diana! I love Diana! With a smile, Diana stepped in front of me and gently ran her hand along the crown over the petals of flowers. I stared wide-eyed at Diana, unbelieving that I was seeing her.
I have to say, I'm shocked. But I'm very happy knowing my world is in good hands.
You're alive! Diana. Diana chuckled, stopping me from whatever I was planning on saying, before cupping my chin to make me gaze into her eyes.
Promise me that you will take care of the king of the demon world. A king is no one without his queen. And in the demon world, the queen is the ultimate power.
All right, Diana. Lend me your baton of wisdom. I felt tears form and drip down my cheeks, but I nodded. Something in my heart lifted, and I felt at ease with everything. I had made the right choice. Oh, Diana, I love you. You're so nice. I mean, secretly, not always up front. With a smile, Diana tilted forward and kissed my forehead beneath the crown before stepping away.
May you be happy with your choice, dear. And thank you.
Oh, and there's Sarah. Diana slowly turned and began to walk away further into the light of the area. Sarah, who was also bathed in light, slowly appeared and waited for Diana with his arm out for her. Diana took his hand and smiled up at him before looking back at me, nodding and walking away. As they both vanished into the light, the world around me reappeared, with everyone staring at me in shock. I want to go back. I need to get my one last look at these two. Aren't they so beautiful? I hope you two are happy together.
Whoa, hey. Are you alright?
I'm just, seeing dead people. What? Huh? I quickly looked at Sam before lifting my hand to my cheek, feeling the trails of my rogue tears left behind over my skin. I wiped my eyes and cheeks before nodding, laughing softly. I'm fine. Sorry. I smiled brightly, taking in a breath, and I looked to Sam while taking his hands. Let's rebuild this world together. Together.
Well, you did
I did it!
Congratulations! You've made it to the end of your story. I have to say, I am very surprised at how it turned out.
Why?
Nevertheless, I'm glad things worked out in the end, whether it was for the better or otherwise. Oh, crap! I'm sorry. I'm glad everything worked out, Your Highness.
What does that mean?
Did you ever imagine that you'd end up being a queen?
Yes.
That is so fantastic, though! Think about it! You are technically the second human to become a full-fledged demon and become royalty.
Who was the first?
Anyways, you've been through a lot, so why don't we skip to...
Don't tell me the Demon Lord was.
You want to know what happened after the war? Well, I guess I could tell you. After the war was finished, the entire rebellion celebrated.
Okay,
You would
yay.
think demons would be more hostile towards each other, being demons and all, but the threat of the Demon Lord was what brought the entire world together. Because
Huzzah.
of the tragedy of Diana and Sarah, you and Sam took up the throne of the entire demon world. You were transformed into a succubus and ruled at Sam's side.
Got an achievement, the world is ours.
Many demons knew you were a human first, but didn't dare speak ill of you, since you were the queen and the wife of the fabled Lord of Dragons.
Yeah.
Huh? You don't know the legend? Well, it's an old tale, but to basically sum it up, when a demon has a pure heart full of true strength and love, he will possess the power to conquer and consume the power of a dragon, making him the Lord of Dragons. Man, guess you got lucky, huh? You're pretty much married to the strongest demon, not just in the demon world, but all 5 worlds.
I'm pretty
Anyways,
fancy.
you and Sam were able to bring the world together and bring about an everlasting peace.
Everlasting.
With the rebel leaders
Does that
beside
mean
you
we're
to
immortal?
help you along the way, you both helped shape the world for a bright future.
Yay.
And I believe that is everything that happened after, well, except for your story anyway. Since you rule the demon world now, how the demon world runs is entirely up to you.
Cake day.
I'm sure Sam will happily walk along with you on your new adventure.
Yay, cake day. Let's do it. Let's make it mandatory.
After all, while demon marriage is entirely up to you, ruling an entire plane of existence is a whole new ballgame. But I'm sure you can handle it.
And by the way, those of you who don't know, I am American, and we just had a new leader elected, and it's very dramatic and depressing, much more so than the demon world.
Huh? How do I know? Well, I'm pretty confident that you'll rock the queen thing. Take a look for yourself.
What do I look like? Hello? Oh, to become a demon was an entirely new adventure for me, one I was very eager to go through. The ritual involved in turning me into a succubus involved candles and lilies and magic spinning through the air at in the threads of power. Being that I was seemingly an endless cask of energy, going through with the ritual was surprisingly easy to do. I was allowed to keep my memories of the human world, but my skin became etched with dark lavender markings. If I have an endless cask of energy, does that mean I'm just super horny all the time? What really surprised everyone were my horns. Instead of having one on each side of my head, I had 2. Whoa, you have 2 horns on each side of your head. One on each side curling around like a ram's horns, and the second pair protruding like mini bull's horns. Apparently it was the mark of a truly powerful demon. I was very proud of myself for the accomplishment regardless. Naturally, I just randomly have extra horns. The wedding was even stranger, however. There were so many things involved that I could barely wrap my head around it, but the one thing I was able to remember was orbs forming in front of our chests and an ethereal green and lavender light connecting us both. Was this the binding of souls? From that day on, I could almost sense whatever emotion Sam was feeling. I was able to find him anywhere and know that he was alright. It became a major asset as we became king and queen of the Abyssal Plains. It took me a longer period to get used to the feeling of being royalty. I had responsibilities, duties as the matriarch of an entire world, and it frightened me beyond anything. However, the touch of Sam's hand in mine always managed to dissolve my fears. However, there was never a day that went by I didn't think about what had happened before I became a demon. It was a heavy chapter of my life, one that tested the love between me and Sam. To think that I was married to the Lord of Dragons. Apparently, it was a very powerful title to own, and I happened to be in love with the man who carried it. Well, he got it after you fell in love with him, so whatever, he can trust you. A title like that, I was sure, carried a large amount of responsibility. Maybe you guys can, hang out with Daenerys and stuff, and have, dragon competitions. Still, I was confident that we would get through it and stay together no matter what came our way. Demon, devil, dragon, it didn't matter to us. We were unstoppable together. The memory of my own power tingled through me every time I grew confident, eagerly reminding me I had strength of my own. I would never let anyone come between me and Sam ever again. The role of queen became one of stress and moral questioning. There were always 10 or 20 issues every day to deal with, dozens more to look into, and hundreds more still simply to hear about. Is that why you guys have the council? The guest room I was once human in became an escape from my duties. While the bed Sam and I shared in our master bedroom was obnoxiously large, I felt more comfortable in the peace of the smaller bed I had once claimed for a week. There were even times I would glamour myself human once more and simply sleep. Oh my gosh, that would be awesome. Just extra queen naps. Since demons didn't sleep, I was constantly working, but it was nice on the rare occasion to shut my eyes and let myself become lost in the dream once more. Sometimes Sam would join me. I'm sure. Sometimes I'm sure. He had pants. It was adorable remembering his sleeping face. A goofy grin, hair ruffled and wild, all in all peaceful. As much as we were perfectly fine being demons, it became a treat to indulge in the feeling of having human forms. Especially not having horns to adjust for when lying down. Oh my gosh, I can understand that for sure. I mean, you can't even wear a ponytail. Despite the danger of closing one's eyes in the demon world, I was confident that we were safe. I let the memories of my past flutter around in my mind as I lay in bed, slowly easing myself from the dream world and back into reality. When my eyes fluttered open, I could only smile at the sight beside me. Remaining in my human form just a while longer, I slowly sat up and stared at the sleeping Lord of Dragons, feeling waves of contentment and joy rush through me at the sight. As my eyes traveled up, I took notice of the lily on the nightstand. It was Diana's lily, and it was the only fresh decoration in the room, in remembrance of the past. That's kind of funny, it's the oldest thing in the room probably, and it's still the freshest. It was in a beautiful vase created by demon craftsmen, decorating the nightstand perfectly. Because of its magical nature, it was still alive and looked as freshly bloomed as the day I received it. Despite it being a bittersweet day, Sam and I cherished the lily and cared for it a lot. It was a physical memory of a strong chapter in my life, and I felt blessed to have it still. I let out another sigh before gently nudging Sam. Sam, it's almost noon. Come on. When Sam didn't move, I simply chuckled. He was indeed a deep sleeper. I gently leaned in and kissed Sam's cheek, hoping to break the spell of sleep on him with true love's kiss. It's time to get up, Sam.
5 more minutes.
No. Look at how cute and ruffly he looks. You're so sweet. Yes. I could only laugh before crawling onto the couch and sitting beside him. While breakfast was waiting, Sam deserved to sleep a bit longer. He had been working hard as the king, so it was no surprise to see him struggle to get up. I rustled Sam's hair a bit, making him groan and push my hand off tiredly, only spurring me to laugh harder. As I did, Sam finally opened an eye and stared up at me, an exhausted glaze over his eye. I covered my mouth and giggled, a little apologetic for waking him up with my laughter. Sorry, I'll be quiet. Sam shook his head and yawned, stretching his arms and shutting his eyes, before opening them again and lazily looking up at me from his pillow.
Morning, doofus.
Morning, Sam. I think we may have overslept. Sam gave me a toothy grin before gently pulling me down to lay beside him. Whoa, Sam. I was silenced by Sam nuzzling into my shoulder and pulling me close to cuddle against my body. My face began to feel warm as I felt his warmth around me.
We'll do our duties later. I want to stay here for a while.
Aw, gee. I took the moment in before nodding and wrapping my arms around him, nuzzling his chest. Sam smiled and kissed my head, relaxing into the embrace. He was perfect in my arms, and nothing could have been better than being in his arms. It was like laying in paradise. Did you have good sleep?
Mm-hmm. You?
Mm-hmm. Our words became simple, but our embrace only intensified our love for each other. The bed became like a cloud, and the room almost lost its shape in my eyes, for all I could focus on was Sam.
I love you. You know that, right?
I love you too.
I mean it. I love you and care about you so much.
I looked up at Sam, seeing the love he spoke of burn brightly in his eyes as he locked his gaze with mine. You have a cute little winky face. I felt my heart beating wildly in my chest before leaning up and nuzzling my forehead to his with a peaceful and happy smile. And I love you, Amar. How do you pronounce his name? And I you, Amaris. More than anyone will never know. Can I not say that sentence? And I you, Amaris. More than anyone will ever know. I mean, I did change species for you. I don't think there's anything else I could do to prove it. There was nothing more that needed to be said. Our love was simple but powerful enough to move continents. Our love may have seemed plain at a glance, but within our hearts burned the flames of our devotion and passion for one another. He became a dragon, I became a brute demon. I couldn't stop my smile from growing before leaning in and kissing Sam lovingly, feeling him kiss back with the same amount of love and passion I had. No matter what, we would always find each other. We would always wind up back in each other's arms, and we would fly through every obstacle in our way on the wings of our love. Sounds like a song. And that was my perfectly happy ever after. And a new life. Pee! And I don't think we need to see the ending credits again. And I got the ending thing, a new life. Pow, pow, pow. What did you think of that ending? I mean, it was nice. I guess we get ruled. And I'm so glad we got to see Diana and Sarah. So apparently you do die in the ocean thing. I don't know why they said that you don't and you live forever. But let me know what you thought of this ending. I will do the other one, the human ending, and then I'll also do the bad ending. So I'm sorry my voice was gone for so long. You guys were so patient. Thank you so much. And then so I should have my mic back. Maybe not for like the next episode, but the one after that should be good. So I'll see you next time, and I hope you all stay sweet. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Yeah, and then have a great day. Bye.